So, good morning to all in Australia, and good afternoon if you are tuning in from New Zealand. Thanks for taking the time out of your really busy schedules to join me today on today's topic, content marketing. We're going to be covering how you can develop and maintain an effective blogging strategy and how you can create engaging content for social media, and why it's important to tailor it depending not only on your target audience, but also on which platform you're using. Plus, we're going to take a look at the ultimate content marketing jackpot. So that's user-generated content and how you can encourage its creation and then use it to your advantage. Your presence today means that you clearly have an interest in the creation of relevant content for your business, which is simply fantastic. In 2015, content marketing is expected to be the most commercially important digital marketing trend, according to Smart Insights, and I totally agree. That's why we're here today, so that you can implement the information you learn straight away to boost your business. So just a little about us here at Sponsored Links. We're a registered Google partner with approximately 80 staff, and we all live and breathe online marketing. A little bit about me. My name is Lauren, and I'm the social and digital content writer here at Sponsored Links. I manage the Sponsored Links blog, the Optimize eCenter blog, our Sponsored Links social media channels, and I'm the managing editor of our in-house publication, Optimize Magazine. If you hadn't had a chance, check out our latest issue. I have a creative writing degree, so I really do love talking about content creation in all of its forms. But of course, today we're going to focus on online content marketing. It's always important to remember that time and opportunities are perishable. The chance for you to communicate with your potential customer, who may or may not be in the market for your product or service, resets every day. They may not need you today, but they will remember you if you are consistent and frequent with your online marketing strategy. Having a content marketing strategy provides you with the perfect opportunity to make the most of this. So in saying this, your presence today for our online content marketing boosters for business optimized webinar is confirmation that you agree, which is music to my ears. I'm really excited to share all of today's information with you. So just a few housekeeping notes before we launch into it. Take plenty of notes and make sure you write down any questions which you may want to send in at the end of the webinar. And we'll also be sending out a recording of today's webinar. So if you miss anything, so say for example, like you have to walk away from your computer monitor, don't worry, as you'll be able to access the recording and view it in your own time. So if the thought of blogging makes you groan in despair and roll your eyes, then you're not alone. Initially, blogging is one of those things you either love or hate. The reality is that as a small to medium-sized business owner, writing and managing a blog for your business's website is pretty crucial for your online presence. It also doesn't have to be the boring chore you think it is. Last year, the Australian Writers' Centre announced Christina Sung's blog, The Hungry Australian, as the winner of the Best Australian Blogs Opportunity for 2014. Her blog, while revealed through its name, is all about Christina's travels, her recipes, and pretty much anything she fancies along the way. It's visually appealing. It contains engaging casual copy, which is easy to read, and centers around the good life we all desire. Take a look at her blog. It's a great source of inspiration and gives you an idea of what you can create. So how can you get yourself on your way to developing a blog as enticing as The Hungry Australian? So first things first, You need to know what you're going to write about. If you're writing a blog for your business, then think about the products and services you offer and start from there. So, for example, if you're a fashion retailer, you can write about upcoming seasonal summer stock which you have arriving, what trends are predicted to be hot, and what brands you prefer due to the fact that they use 100% cotton fabric, which is perfect for the summer heat. You should also take advantage of relevant and topical subject matter for your target audience. So, with so much that you can write about, no matter what industry you're in, you really don't have any excuse for not writing and managing a consistent blog. In saying that as well, headlines really matter. While the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, could go a long way for many a blog post, the truth of the matter is that people will choose to read or not read your blog based on the headline. There are a few rules when it comes to creating the perfect headline. 1, it shouldn't be too long. 2, it shouldn't be too short. Don't make it ambiguous, and test your headlines as well. Much like a lot of you will be used to split testing with your AdWords campaigns. And use the correct language for your target audience. I always prefer to write the headline once I've finished writing the blog. This way you can ensure that your headline appropriately matches the content of your blog. If you prefer, you can start with a working headline, which you can go back to and edit once you've finished writing. Writing the introduction. This is admittedly my favorite part to write when putting together a blog, because when it works and reads well, it just feels so good. But it can also be the hardest because it also means you have to begin writing something. When you don't know how to start, you can sit there staring at your computer screen for what feels like an aeon. If I'm ever unsure with how to start my introduction, I always get started on the main body of my blog and then revisit the introduction later. The simple practice of just writing will soon make writing the introduction a breeze. Always try and capture the reader's attention. Your headline has gotten them this far and you don't want to lose them now. So start with maybe like an anecdote or a story, even a joke. And then you need to make sure you explain your main points so the reader knows what they're in for. Next, make sure your blog flows in a logical order. So list your main points and organize them so that as the reader makes their way through your writing, they can begin to join the dots and make sense of what you're trying to say. Readers tend to like lists as they're to the point, they're short and super informative. So some lists, as you can see here, some lists you can incorporate into your blogs are how to, the top 10 predictions for, we've got the 4-step process to make the perfect whatever, and then you've got the who, what, when, where, why, and how of. So you could incorporate these into any industry. Now, all you need to do is write. You will have heard it before, and I'm going to say it again. Practice makes perfect. Though, the perfect blog seems almost as elusive as a unicorn, really. But the point is, it definitely gets easier the more you write. Your conclusion. Okay, so this needs to bring it all neatly together. You need to summarize your main points, reiterate why you have written the blog, include a call to action. So this will let the reader know what they should do next, such as subscribe to your newsletter or call for a free quote today. And conclude with that joke or story or anecdote that you started off with in the introduction. But before you hit publish, make sure you're including some visual content to complement the blog. So this could be a video clip, a GIF, an image, or a combination of these. The trick is to not just include an image for the sake of including an image. It's really got to be relevant to your subject matter and add value. So the great part about writing a blog for your business is that the passion is already there. There really is no one better and no one better qualified to write about what it is your business does. But of course, content marketing doesn't just exist within the realm of blogging, websites, or email marketing. The world of social media is now one of the most compelling reasons for users to jump on the internet. You've got Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, Instagram, Snapchat, Tumblr, and I could go on. The list really does just go on. And truthfully, not every single one of these platforms is going to be suited to your business. But if you think you can continue to ignore the importance of having a social media presence, you really need to think again. Australian consumers have jumped on board with numerous platforms, and it's not just Facebook anymore. Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, and Pinterest are becoming like major league players too. Google Plus is always going to be important so long as you care about your website ranking on Google search. But don't expect your audience to always be sitting at a desktop computer. Internet connected devices are a huge business and Australians love them. The Census Social Media Report findings from May 2015 suggests that the average Australian owns 3 internet connected devices, with laptops at 75%, smartphones at 70%, and tablets at 55%. Social media use is inherently linked to just how many internet connected devices Australians own. So census reports that 68% of people who use the internet have a social media profile, and that of this figure, 70% use their mobile devices to access their social media profiles, which mostly is done through an app. So what about the content, you're putting on these social media platforms? Content creation is all about creating something your audience will engage with. It makes sense then that different platforms attract different types of people for different reasons. It means you need to tailor your content depending on who your target audience is. Now, you'll hear me say this a couple of times, but it's really, really important. So, for example, you may have a special promotion on some stock that you want to clear. You can still deliver the same message across several platforms, but the way in which it is delivered needs to be adjusted. So let's say on Facebook, you might have an image with some accompanying text promoting the special promotion, but on Twitter, you only have 140 characters to work with. So your text needs to be short, to the point, and you need room to provide a link to your website, because obviously that's where you want the traffic to go. Or if you use Instagram, you'll have an image promoting the special, and you might include some relevant hashtags in the copy. Pinterest is highly visual as well. So here you could have an image of a piece of stock you want to clear with a description of the item, the price, include a hyperlink within the image back to your website. I mean, you can really start to see how different it needs to be depending on which platform you're using. It's definitely not as easy as duplicating the exact same content across all platforms. Each platform is designed to engage with users in a different way, so it makes sense that your content must reflect this. As you will have noticed from the example earlier, content marketing is not just copy and text, it's also all of the visual content that you see, such as graphics and video content. So while this type of content popularity is on the rise due to increasing engagement it attracts on social media, don't fall into the trap of posting this type of content just for the sake of it. It must have a purpose and align not only with your business, but your target audience. So here are some statistics on why visual content is amazing for businesses on social media platforms. So Facebook reported this year that they've seen a global increase of 75% in terms of the number of video posts per person. Tweets on Twitter which have an image are more likely to be clicked by 18% than those that don't. And our brain decodes visual information 60,000 times faster than text. It's pretty amazing. So essentially, don't tell it if you can show it. It's why platforms like Pinterest, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube are rising in popularity and engagement. It's why Facebook has made it easier for people to upload and share visual content. But creating all of this content can be timely and a costly exercise. It's why you need to learn to repurpose content you have created elsewhere. So think about the content you will generate through your blogs. You could section this down into multiple bite-sized pieces for which you can create accompanying visuals to make it even easier for your audience to digest. You can then filter these through to the social media platforms you are active on. So think about mobile viewing as well. Mobile internet usage is expected to climb to 90.1% in 2017. So is your content also tailored for mobile viewing? Is it short, sharp, and snappy? Because it needs to be. People will soon scroll past your content, so you need to grab their attention. You can make things a lot easier for yourself through creating a content calendar too. So like fill it out with information like promotions, events, specials you might have going on in store, anything you can use which will bridge the gap between you and your audience. Think about interactive promotions you can initiate, which will get your target audience involved with the content you post. And getting them involved is a fantastic way to increase engagement as well. It's also the perfect opportunity to get your target audience creating some user-generated content, which we'll talk about later, which is pretty much hitting the jackpot when it comes to the world of content marketing. So get thinking of ways that you can create content which will allow you to connect with your audience in authentic ways, because your customers really will thank you for it. So with all of this content that you're now producing, without a doubt, you want people to pick up on it. Actually, you want more than that. You want people to engage with it. You want people to take it and share it. You want people to talk about it. People notoriously listen to referrals from friends and family. If you can get just one person to share and talk about your content, you're increasing the awareness of your business. It means that people are hearing about you. More people will remember your business name, and when it comes time to them needing you, they'll remember you, which is exactly what you want. When you want people to share your content, you need to understand what motivates them to share that content in the first place. So you need to ask yourself a couple of questions. Is it relatable and relevant? So is your content relatable and relevant? Are you actually creating content that your audience will find useful and relatable to their own situations? So for example, you could be the business of like an independent hardware store, and you might be creating some content around safety first, let's say. In order to make this relatable and relevant, you could develop a series of images which depict unsafe practices that many people could be doing at home on their do-it-yourself projects. So to encourage safety first, you can encourage your audience to share the content that you're creating, and therefore sharing your message. Of course, from a business point of view, it's also an amazing opportunity to include the safety equipment that your products that you sell within your hardware store. So make it relatable and relevant, and your audience will share it. Next question to ask yourself. are you creating content that people can react to? If you can elicit a response from your audience, they are more likely to share it with their friends. So, of course, you want people to react positively, so your content must cater to this. Ipsos reports that global citizens who indicate they have shared some type of content online on social media sites in the past month seek primarily to share interesting things, to share important things, and to share funny things. Next question, does your content answer a question? So find out what questions your target audience want answered. You could even ask them to send in their questions, and the chosen question will be used in your next content piece. So the best way to find out what questions your target audience wants answered is just to interact with them. And social media is the best platform to do this online. And you can also utilize polls and surveys if you ever conduct those as well. Also ask yourself, is it topical? So you can jump on the bandwagon here, especially if it's for a good cause. So if any of you remember the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, which was, what was that, 1 year, 2 years ago? Celebrities, media, businesses, and individuals from around the world participated. And according to the ABC, I looked up this earlier, a staggering $95 million was raised in the United States alone, and there's something like $700,000 in Australia. But I mean, that's the type of user-generated content that marketing companies just can't create. Like, it's just incredible. So with all of this, you can also encourage your audience to create user-generated content. So, this is going back to that jackpot that I was talking about earlier. So ways that you can do this, usually done through social media, are online competitions. So, for example, and going back to that business owner of an independent hardware store scenario, you could ask people to nominate others or even themselves as to what they would do with a DIY project if they were to be the winners of, say, a $500 gift card at your store. And all they have to do is post a photograph or a video of their DIY project and explain why they think they should win. And before you know it, you'll have dozens upon dozens of entries, all containing user-generated content, which you can use to promote your business and the products you sell. A great real-life example of user-generated content at its finest was, do you guys remember the Best Job in the World campaign by Tourism Queensland? It's done back in 2009. There were 34,000 user-submitted videos and applications for the job in total from over 200 countries. The entire campaign was promoted, it promoted Queensland as a holiday destination, which is exactly what Tourism Queensland wanted to do. And all of the content was user-generated and encouraged engagement. So when you consider launching your own user-generated content initiative, there are some common traits which you should follow. So promote your campaign through your website. Remember, your website is your online version of a physical store. So, use it. Promote your campaign through your social media profiles. And give users a reason to participate. So in other words, offer an incentive or a prize. Actively engage the people who participate throughout the campaign. It will help them feel positive about taking the time out to get involved. And ensure that you include a disclaimer that once users have submitted their user-generated content, that you can repurpose it for your business marketing. And just make sure that you follow any state regulations in regards to prizes and giveaways. So to conclude, just never forget to listen to what's going on around you. So what concerns or desires do your customers have? What new innovations or technologies are coming out in your industry? Can you talk about that? Can that be a starting point for some content generation? As long as you listen, you can center your content marketing on what is currently happening. So making your business not just relevant, but authentic. So the next time you embark on creating a new piece of content, remember everything that we've talked about today, and you'll see your audience connected and captivated by your content marketing prowess. I can't wait to see it. So to finish off, I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you who have attended today's webinar. The team and I here at Sponsored Links truly hope you gained some, really great information today on what you should be doing when it comes to content marketing. Like, we've really only skimmed the surface, so stay tuned for more content marketing webinars coming your way. Plus, we, as our way of saying thank you for coming today, we've got an offer for you. So when you refer a friend to sign up for AdWords management with Sponsored Links, you will receive 2 weeks free management from Sponsored Links, which is so great. Conditions apply. So if you're interested, please send an email to the marketing team here at Sponsored Links on marketing@sponsoredlinks.com. If you have any feedback or any advice, or you want to see us talk about a particular topic in the future, let us know so we can provide you with the right content you want. And thank you so much for today, and have a great week. Thanks.